Whenever Britannia there gets everything set up, we will get off and running.
She still has plenty of her books to read, so we're okay.
Yes, she's...
And again, I'll start.
Thank you for putting up with our ridiculousness, too, by the way.
Have at it.
Okay, back here, XWE, Jiggy Jag, it's Jiggy Jag TV, and I have two guys who I have watched on Ring of Honor and all the different independent promotions across the country and around the world. I want to give a quick shout out to my buddy Cousin Chris, who is excited as punch that I'm talking to you guys. He always puts you guys over. So tell us about the seminar and everything today.
First of all, I cannot believe I'm on Jiggy Jag TV.
This is like now we all know the stuff that I do with the Hangs with Bob Live. Is this like a meeting of the minds?
Yeah.
A Jiggy Jag TV and a Hangs with Bob Live? Is this like a co-promotion right now?
It's a co-promotion.
Cousin Chris, we love you over there. We love you wherever you are. We love you.
Let us know give him an address. We'll send him a picture. We'll only charge you half price.
So tell me about the seminar today.
Yeah, the seminar was great. There was a lot of young kids that came out here in Salina, Kansas. My first time ever in Salina, Kansas. Our first time ever wrestling for XWE.
We had kids from Oklahoma. We had kids from Missouri. I mean, we had people from all over.
Yeah. It was a beautiful thing.
It was a hell of a deal.
It was a beautiful thing. People learned. I learned. Bob learned.
Yep, absolutely.
And I was.
You're still learning?
I'm still learning. I tell you what, one of the things I've been doing lately is I've been reaching out to promoters.
Yep.
And trying to get them to focus on the things that are going to draw fans in, because I think we have a ton of independent wrestling that's drawing very well. We also have a ton of independent wrestling that deserves to draw better. And I think we had an excellent example here where the gang really went out and reached out into the community, flyers, did some charity work. I noticed they had some charity raffles there, reached out to the local businesses, and look, we have a nice packed house there. Like I said before, we could squeeze a few more in if we need to, but man, I consider this pretty much a virtual sellout. And you know, it's not done without all the hard work from you and the beautiful lady here filming this, and all the people that worked so hard, and the gentleman that was running around with 20 chairs on a cart, yelling for everybody to get out of the way so he could get the chairs all in the back row to get some more people in.
Don't forget Cousin Chris.
Don't forget Cousin Chris and all his.
My God, put him over some more.
We love Cousin CC. We love you, baby.
Now, I see a lot of your stuff on Facebook that you do.
Yep.
I know
this is weird for me to not be driving when
one of the things that you did recently was you talked about why are people not letting other people into the wrestling business. We should let people in. There is a gentleman, I'm not going to mention any names because he knows who he is. He has a wrestling organization in Kansas, and his whole attitude is, if you haven't paid your dues and you haven't trained, you haven't done all the stuff in the business, you should not get into the business.
Well, and I understand his point of view, and I respect everybody's point of view.
Yeah.
My whole thing is, I think if we're trying to be successful as our own business and successful being promoters, trying to bring people into the tent, so to speak, we can't worry about getting caught up in everybody else's drama. Now, he has a right to exist the way he wants to, but I think the people that he might not agree with deserve to exist on their terms too, as long as nobody's hurting each other. I don't like when people say get out of the business, you don't belong in the business, I'm going to get you out of wrestling, because in my opinion, that if you think about it, and I know how funny it sounds, and I'm not trying to be all big and high-minded here, but it really is kind of infringing on people's rights to liberty and the pursuit of happiness. So I kind of just came to that epiphany a couple of weeks ago, and it's really been messing with my mind, man, because I just want people to succeed, and if you're somebody who wants to wrestle once a month or once a week or once a year, just go do your thing and have fun.
Do your thing.
As long as you don't bitch and moan and complain about people trying to succeed. But you know what? Most of the people I see that I meet when I go back to New England and Massachusetts, I still have some of the guys that just wrestle for fun or once a month. But every time I see them, if they see me or Tim, they give us a hug. Oh man, you guys are doing so great. You're all over the place, doing your thing all over the world, and they're very supportive. That's the people I want in wrestling. If you want to wrestle 7 times a week or once a year, it's all good to me.
Now,
as long as you're not hurting anybody else.
But we're not saying don't go out there and don't get properly trained and become the best that you can possibly become, even if you're just going to wrestle once a month.
And we want people to be safe. We don't want anybody to get hurt. We don't want anybody to be reckless. Thank you, Tim. We certainly want people to be safe and be as professional as they can, but I can't hang my way of life on other people. I mean, I think the past couple of years have taught us that, you know, we really have to respect everybody else's rights as an individual. And in my opinion, that's really the biggest thing, is just kind of live and let live. And I think we forget to focus on our own business when we focus on everybody else's. And I think it's also, maybe not in this case, but in many cases, it's an insecurity issue too, where
you know, and let me kind of follow up on that. There is also another organization.
Oh boy.
Where they're wanting to be on-screen characters, and they're wanting to be behind the scenes, but they haven't trained, they haven't, you know, they're and I don't want to call people